Thank you very much. So very glad to have this opportunity to present my recent co-author article about this very particular type of the illegal markets. So actually, I'm focusing on research on the organized crime, corruption, and illegal markets. So I examine different types of illegal markets because my previous MPhil student Natalie May Evelyn spent 2 years in investigating this particular market, and so we have a chance to co-author the two articles. I think Natalie should be the ideal person to present. Yeah, she's already here, and during the Q&A, maybe he can add up some more details about the empirical about the market. Okay. So the topic is sexual desire and inequality and China's illegal online sexual fiction market. So our research actually examined this particular market. We asked two important questions. One is why, what causes the emergence of the market? And secondly, we discuss about the social order of this market, is the governance of this illegal market. So we identified that gender inequality and desire, that's it, can be very important factors for the emergence of the market. And also we examine why this market or the sex fiction is so attractive to females, especially for the young females. So according to Chinese government perspective, social desire is only considered legitimate when it relates to reproduction. So reproduction, selling, and reading sex fiction to satisfy one's own sexual desire is not only illegal, but also socially illegitimate. So very different from the other illegal markets, for example, illicit drugs or the gambling, prostitution. Actually, the Chinese government seems to pay little attention to this market because according to the government's understanding or police officers' understanding, it causes little harm to the society. So due to the lack of the manpower and also due to the lack of the physical resources, so Chinese government, they are more likely to focus on cracking down on, for example, illicit drug trafficking organizations, black societies, and other a series of organized crime groups, but not on this market. But this market, for the participants, they still feel serious like moral burdens, or we call it the moral scruples. So producing and selling and reading sex fiction to satisfy one's own sex desire is illegal, but they face not severe criminal punishment risk, but actually they face a lot of the moral cost. So all the participants, readers, also sellers, they are on. So they try their best to protect themselves, to be identified by the people they know or by the people in their social networks. Okay, so before 2020, China's illegal online sexual fiction market was notable for its lack of maturity. That's it because also sellers and buyers, they can make use of overseas online forums to sell and buy sexual fictions. Yeah, but one incident happened in the late February 2020. So the incident occurred that led to the fast growth of this market in mainland China. So the Chinese government received reports from many readers regarding a work of sexual fiction by Chinese writer who had been posted on the foreign online fiction forum AO3. The work in question was alleged to damage the image of Chinese celebrity. So a lot of young girls idol. Because in the fiction, the author presented an ambiguous depiction of the celebrity's sexuality and the plot involving the exploitation of this celebrity who was underage at that time for sexual services. Due to a large number of the reports to the police, so the Chinese government decided to block internet access to all foreign online fiction forums that contain sexual materials, including AO3. So there is great demand for this kind of services, the products, but actually Chinese government actually blocked the internet access. That's directly leading to the quickly expanding of the China's domestic illegal markets online. So our empirical data show that in this market, so both the author sellers and buyers are predominantly young females with ages ranging from 15 to their early 20s. So why sexual fiction stand out? So that's a very important question. So when we start with this project to do research, and one big question is, why sexual fiction? Because as a male researcher, I feel little attractive. So why young ladies they like sex fiction? So why sexual fiction stand out? So our empirical data show that sex fiction stand out from other forms of sexual content, such as AV pornography and ironic photographs, because sexual fiction often customized to match women's sexual preferences and desires, rather than the generic products that are produced for the brand audience. Most of them are men. So men actually enjoys AV pornography or other kind of materials. So we found that in the market, so all those services or products are designed for men, not for women, especially for AV or other ironic photographs. So the key characteristic of this market is that the buyers can commission also sellers to write about their fantasies. That means they can design the plot, they can design the character, and they buy services from author sellers, and they co-develop the sexual fiction. So the sex fiction is writing for the particular buyer, not for the general public. So that's why it's very attractive for the young ladies. So according to buyer, so works of sexual fiction are customized products. So with plot development based on the buyer's own ideas. In a sense, one's own self is involved in the process of the production. So as the buyer mentioned that the free porn videos cannot achieve the same level of engagement because the audience had no input in the production of those videos. But the young lady, they cares about their input. So furthermore, our interview data so that participants argue that sexual fiction is more effective than other types of sexual content in satisfying young women's sexual desires. So women tend to be more emotionally sensitive. So unlike many men who emphasize about visual stimulation, young women have more vivid imagination and find romantic ideas more appealing. Perhaps videos that are too direct and can be less emotional, and the physical contact alone may not be necessarily lead to sexual imagination. Furthermore, the text can stimulate a woman's desire for intimacy, and the beautiful words represent a kind of the spiritual world. So those women who are more capable of invoking delicate and romantic emotions are more likely to be attracted by them. Okay, so another interview highlights about the sexual differences, like in the trans societies. So due to the sexual environment, women are naturally more constrained in their sexual expression compared with men. So subtle language can bring about hidden pleasure and express sexual desires in a suitable manner for women. However, men in the trans society do not face such constraints, and they can enjoy more explicit content. For example, AV porn videos and also comics without feeling shame. And also all those AV porn videos, other sexual materials actually are designed for men, not for women. Okay, so so China's illegal sexual fiction market had emerged in response to the government prohibition. Government blocked the access to international forums, and also the lack of legitimate channels to satisfy young women's sexual desire. So young women can highly get involved in the developing the sex fictions, design the plots, design the character, and also this is the perfect way or ideal way for them to satisfy their sexual desire. So our data shows the details about how transactions being organized, and we call it social organization of the online illegal sexual fiction market. So very important question we ask, who are the participants? Okay, so we identify 4 categories of participants, including author sellers, buyers, agents, and informal promoters. So author sellers, they are write and sell sexual fictions. They have option to either independently manage their business, or they can outsource their marketing and customer service to an agency. So buyers, they purchase and read the satisfactions, and agents, they actually sell products on behalf of the also sellers. They represent and negotiate with the buyers about terms, conditions of sales, including customers' needs and plot design, pricing, payment terms, and delivery. And also for the informal promoters. So they are also the sellers of the romance novels, but they do not sell sexual fiction directly due to the moral and legal reasons, but they receive free copies. So what they do is they regularly following and commenting on the author sellers' online profile and posts, and also defending them against criticism. So here we draw a simple figure to show the key stages for the transactions. So the first stage is searching for the potential exchange partners. Secondly, the pre-sale, and then is transaction. So at the beginning, the buyers they can read sample readings on the social media platform, and all the also sellers and the agents, they tend to post the working samples on the social media platforms. So the potential buyers may they may contact add the also sellers and agents and friends in the messaging apps. Then there's the negotiation process. That is about the pre-sale. Pre-sale, that is buyers need to negotiate with either agent or discuss with also sellers directly. They discuss about details, about detailed delivery date, about the character clause, and blah, blah. So then buyers, then the agents will assign this order to the suitable author sellers. So this is the pre-sale process. And for the transaction, so the buyers will make the deposit to the author sellers or the agent. And some buyers actually, they make use of the e-commerce platforms such as Taobao to sell, to make the exchange, to make the transaction. So on the delivery date or before the delivery date, so also seller agents, they deliver the final product, and then the buyer make the remaining, paying any remaining money. So this is social organization. Okay. So the two essential research objectives, the first one is we want to discover the factors contributing to the rapid growth of the illegal online sexual fiction market. The second objective is actually we focusing on the social order, the operation of the illegal markets. Because for the illegal markets, they can't rely on the state protection. They can't rely on the police officers, rely on the state laws, regulations to solve disputes and enforce compliance. So what they can do is they need to avoid attention from the state, and they develop their own mechanisms. We call it actual legal governance institutions. So in order to ensure cooperation, protect transactions, and exclude dishonest exchange partners. So when we examine about the illegal transactions or illegal markets, very important starting point is about what kind of sources of risks or uncertainties, because participants in different markets or in different transactions, they face different risks. Even in the same market, the different participants may face different risks. So that's very important. We have to identify about risks and uncertainties for the particular participants. So two categories of risks being mentioned by this article. One is the criminal punishment risk. That's due to the articles of the Chinese criminal law. They criminalize the sex fiction. That's lead to the absence of state protection and enforcement. And also the market-based or transaction-based uncertainty and the challenges or risks that due to the anonymity of the online environment, time-space distanciation, and lack of trust. So because of in the anonymous online environment, potential exchange partners, they find it very difficult to verify potential exchange partners' identities. Because for those young ladies, the first task is to hiding their identities, to prevent themselves to be identified by others, right? So it's very difficult to verify other identities. And also once they face any disputes or they being cheated by others, they cannot rely on the formal legal system to protect themselves. So participants who engage in dishonest behavior face the minimal consequences. Okay, so and also the market is very complicated because market participants, they embed their exchange transaction processes in different social media platforms. For example, they may employ the social media platforms such as Weibo, that's a Chinese version of Twitter, to post and read writing samples, and also using the Weibo to search for the potential exchange partners. And then they utilize the messenger app, for example, QQ or WeChat, to communicate and disseminate the reputation information, or they form the QQ chat groups or the WeChat chat groups that is used for the dissemination of the reputation information. And also they may conduct transaction on e-commerce apps like the Taobao, Chinese version of eBay. So they rely on different social media platforms. That makes the exchange become more complicated. So how can they solve those transaction-based risks and uncertainties? So in the theoretical part, we discuss about the trust and the signal of trustworthiness. So criminologists who study illegal markets, they pay particular attention on trust or online trust. They think trust or online trust play a fundamental role in regulating the market to constrain exchange partners' activities and prevent opportunistic behaviors. But actually, we find trust in this market is not work very well because the exchange participants they don't know each other and they are not embedded in social ties, so they don't have any information from the social networks, and also they can't use the social network or reputation mechanism to punish rule breakers. So we find so there is a significant lack of trust in the illegal online market. And also, very important issue is about the text-based communications hinders trust building. So in the offline market, actually we can conduct face-to-face transactions, and we can rely on the social clues. For example, your body language, your facial expression, your eye contact, and also your other social clues. You can have the sense, or you can decide whether he or she is a reliable, is trustworthy exchange partners. But in online environment, it's only based on the text-based communications, only text, only words. So how can participants make use of those kind of online clues to assess the trustworthiness of the exchange partners? That's a big question, okay? So we argue that it may be not the trust that fosters cooperation in the anonymous setting. Rather, it's the actual legal governance institutions, or in sociology may say that is assurance mechanisms, incentive structures that convey the trustworthiness signals, which means people have motivation to engage in dishonest behavior for profits. But actually, there's some, we call it actual legal governance institutions, like make them unable to do that. If they do so, they may lose reputation. They may be punished by losing the future exchange opportunities. Okay, so we examine different types of the actual legal governance institutions, or the strategies, or the platforms, or the private institutions they can use. For example, although they embed the transactions in different online platforms, still they can use the online platforms functions such as rating, comments, reporting, refund request, content censorship, and also they can make a judgment about whether platform are trustworthy or not. That's it, by whether the platform is a user-friendly interfaces. And also for the individual institutions, they can make use of, for example, the gossip, the information they get from the chat groups, the appearance, the online presentation by the also sellers and buyers, and also their performance, the daily performance. So we, in order to gather, to discover, to investigate the social order of this illegal market, so we collected first-hand empirical data by conducting in-depth interviews and online observations. So we interview 30 responses from different platforms, including 8 buyers, 16 also sellers, 2 agents, and 4 informal promoters. And also we conduct the online observations. So that's very important to ensure the validity and reliability of the collect data. Because I don't have enough time to discuss about the details about their strategies and how can they solve the risks. If you're interested in this topic, I'm happy to discuss after this session. Thank you very much.